Hi, I'm Ringbam Kamei, editor of the Gaanphiu Mail, published in local Delhi, Tamenglong. Tamenglong is the district away from city, Imphal city, 150 kilometers. It's situated in the northeast part of India.
So, Mr. Ringbam, can you tell me more about your bilingual daily? When was this instituted? What was your vision to start a newspaper?
Yeah, it was started in last year in 2006, in the 22nd of May. My vision and aim is to speak for people who could not speak for themselves. Tamenglong is a district where people known as the most backward in India. So here people are innocent and the living condition are too backward that they could not keep in touch with this Imphal city or the in the capital India, New Delhi. So here we get a newspaper from Delhi like a day after. Like if you want to read a newspaper of today, I have to read it tomorrow in hard copy. And even from Imphal, I have to get the news after 2 p.m. While others are getting newspaper in the morning. So in the view that this newspaper was started so that people could learn and know in the morning when they have a tea breakfast. And there is a lot of challenge in our local Delhi because hardly people have a habit of reading news, and the problem is people are not aware that the power of news media. So we started this news thinking that we could at least change something in our district. So this is a bilingual newspaper. We publish in our local dialect Rongmei, and if needed we publish in English. So another problem is people are only read and write in English in school. So our Rongmei or the local dialect Jalengrong people hardly study about Rongmei. So what I do is the news item which are published are in the Rongmei literature writing system, so that people could also understand. Even young folk, students could also learn while they are studying. So this is another motive that we have while we start this newspaper.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ringbam, for sharing the challenges that a local daily in an isolated district, logistically difficult to be reached not just by the government but even by media person. Can you tell about what is the relation of the local media based in Tamenglong and the media based in Imphal city, the capital of Manipur?
Okay, most of the newspaper which published in the capital Imphal, they publish in English, or some few are published in Manipuri. But the challenge that we have here is we do not receive the news in a row with our local dialect. So I have to go and translate everything that the news reporter or agency has to give to me. So it takes a lot of time to translate in our dialect. And the difficult thing is it is a remote area. Sometimes we cannot get the news in time when the internet shut down, or when the transportation for raw material of like newsprint or like printing materials, it take a lot of struggles, and we need to do a lot of things to work. This is one of the biggest challenges.
It makes sense. It must be very difficult for you to ensure that your local daily is sustainable, not just in terms of income, not just in terms of investment, but even getting the media information from Imphal, and not just Imphal, from within the country or even abroad. We are really keen to understand what are the needs of your local daily, the Gaanphiu Mail, what kind of help from the government of Manipur and even other agencies to strengthen the entire mechanism on which your local daily rests now.
Our news daily have struggle a lot, and we did not get anything as of now from any help from our government. We are doing from our own earning. The problem is hardly people have the habit of reading news. There are few subscribers, so I have to do a lot of thing, like I have to employ reporter, staff. So for all of this we need some help, some financial help from our government. And apart from that, our printing is like a machine that we use are like offset, which are cannot be compared with the machine that we use in the city. So if we have printing in a bigger scale printing, we could have given a much bigger size of paper. This is the size that we could only print in Tamenglong. That is a challenge that we have.
Okay. I believe that the recently concluded 15th state level Orange Festival held in Tamenglong, in that event, annual farming event, the Gaanphiu Mail was the media partner. Can you talk about a little about the Orange Festival and Gaanphiu Mail's vision and engagement to promote the festival?
Okay, the 15th state level Orange Festival is a grand success in terms of media and with partnering this grand festival. But the challenge that we have is that the growers who stationed in the far-flung area could not reach by the concerned government. We could not find out the difficulty that the plants are dying. So it's an earnest request that the government should reach to the people who are giving their 100% effort to grow this orange. We talk about this state festival in many places, but in the reality the focus are going in another direction. People are less focused on the growers, but we are only going to the concert or the contest. All these things are the main target or the main focus are drawing in the different direction. So maybe in the coming years the state governments should focus more on the grower than the other activities. Yes, we need other activity to pull the crowd and all, but simultaneously there we have events in the station, and the other side of the stall, people hardly go to the stall to buy, but they entertain, they enjoy in entertaining. So my only suggestion could be in the coming years we should also find out more suitable way to reach to the unreached place. So now we could only see the stalls which are open are most of the stalls are from the nearby area, nearby villagers, but there are also growers in the far-flung area which the vehicle could not reach, but they have a farm, but they could not carry all those oranges to the headquarters, and the communication problem, as well as they could not carry all of these oranges to the headquarters. So maybe we could improve in this ground also.
Thank you for your suggestions. I think they are really appropriate, accurate, and from the lens of a journalist. The last question we have for you, Ringbam, is what drives you to work every day as a journalist, as an editor of the Gaanphiu Mail?
As I said earlier, my only aim and motto is like I want to speak for people who could not speak for themselves, the illiterate people who want something but they could not reach the people who should be heard. When I visit some far-flung area like in Tausem subdivision, many villagers they are needs to be done by our concerned government. They could not have electricity for many years. They're living there for like 50 or 100 years, but the government could not provide electricity, the water supply, and also the connectivity of road. All these things, considering all these things, why should I stay silent? The inception of this idea of printing and news is I wasn't it's not a dream before, but the last 2 years when I happened to visit our subdivision, I realized that I should do something. I could not be move the mountain, but I could just move some few pebbles or stone that people could be heard give a voice for those who could not speak for themselves. Apart from that, in Tamenglong headquarters, even the Tamenglong headquarters, we have many things that which we could, media can play a big role. Not only in the focus of government, underdeveloped or anything, to bringing the changes which we could bring from outside, the idea of how to develop even to the farmers or even to the entrepreneur. We could through this media channel we could give something that they could not do, or the know-how thing we could that is what we that is how we start the news, the print media.